Crockett and Jones for Ralph Lauren Lindrick boot. These are actually very similar to a stock model that Crockett and Jones does called the Islay, pronounced I-S-L-A-Y. These are actually on a little bit different last. These are on the 325 last, and the Islays are on the 365 last, from what I understand. I do not own any of the Islays, but I understand the 365 is a little bit more roomy. But again, I don't own them, so I don't have any personal knowledge about that. Another difference between these and the Islays are that these have eyelets all the way up, whereas the Islays, I believe, have speed hooks at the top. And I'm not sure whether the Islays have these tabs on the back to help you put on the boot or not. This particular pair is about 2.5 years old, has gone through 2 winters, and I don't cover these up. Pardon the bump there. I don't cover these up with anything. You know, when I wear them in the winter, I wear them like a boot in the winter, through snow, slush, salt, everything, and then I just clean them up afterward. These are a relatively tall boot, and as you can see, my ankles go about here, and so it's a good amount of space above the ankle. Brown Shell Cordovan, and these have a nice Crockett and Jones double oak sole and a dovetailed heel, as I showed you earlier. Very similar, I have to reach over here real quick, very similar to a blucher shoe that they also make called the Marlowe Wingtip. And if you look at the lines of the boot, it's going to be very similar. But notice that they do have a slightly different treatment in the heel. And of course, the boot is a boot. This Brown Shell Cordovan on the Marlowe is actually a very light brown these days. These are a few years old, and these actually started the same color as these, but I wear these a lot in the summer, and that's the only thing I can really point to as far as why these have lightened up so much. But I certainly don't mind. I think it's a nice coloration right now. So I mentioned these are on the 325 last, but because they are boots, I don't know how or why the shoemakers do this, but a lot of times the boots made on the same last as a shoe, the boots are going to run a little bit larger, and the same thing is true here. These are size 11.5D, as you can see in the, maybe, oh, not there. There. Size 11.5D. I'm actually a 12D bordering on 12E US size on the Brannock device, and these fit me just about perfectly. If anything, in fact, they're maybe just a touch long. So anyway, I just wanted to do this quick overview. If anybody has any specific questions, feel free to ask away. On one of my other videos, somebody asked that I give ideas of what I wear my shoes with. And so for these, generally with boots, I tend to wear them with more casual clothes, although I have worn these boots with a suit. Again, it was the winter time, kind of slushy and snowy out, so put these on. But I'll wear these with chinos. I'll wear them with jeans. This is actually a pretty dark brown, so I do wear these with some of the medium to lighter grays. A lot of times you get into charcoal gray slacks, and I tend to wear black or that deep eggplant, kind of purpley burgundy that Alden uses on their shoes and boots. But kind of that medium or lighter gray. navy blue. I do wear these with that, as well as navy blue suits. And then jeans and chinos. I think I have one pair of green as well, and I think I probably wear either this or one of my other pair of Ralph Lauren Brown Shell Cordovan shoes made by Crockett and Jones. Interestingly, and I just noticed this the other day, so Crockett and Jones doesn't bring the rubber piece all the way to the front of the heel. The rubber piece stays back here, and that is different than what Alden does. Alden actually brings the rubber piece all the way to the front. So it's underneath a piece of leather here, but it's all the way to the front of the shoe. And I don't know why the difference, other than it's just different makers. Both of them certainly are well respected and know what they're doing. So it's just an interesting difference I noticed the other day. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, hope you enjoy. One last point, I noticed these, while they had been on the website and available for a long time, a couple of years in fact, they recently were taken off the website, kind of as we entered the spring season here in 2015. And I don't know what that is. The only thing I can attribute that to is the fact that the Shell Cordovan is supposedly hard to find. You know, there's a supposed shortage that's been going on now for a few years. So I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if we'll see Lindricks again. I certainly hope so, because they're one of the best looking wingtip boots, in my opinion. One final note on the laces. These are actually Allen Edmonds laces that they make for their Bayfield boots. And they're kind of a waxy cloth, but they fit very well. They're a little bit shorter than the standard Crockett and Jones laces, but by straight lacing the boots, you make up a little bit of extra length on the laces. So they're actually just about perfect. If you look at the length of the laces, they're just about perfect for tying at this point. But these boots do, for some reason, the eyelets are pretty rough on laces, whereas the Giannis, which I also have, don't have that problem for some reason, and they actually have a combination of eyelets and speed hooks at the top. So I don't know what to attribute that to either, other than I've just noticed that. Thanks.